what's going down? Schmaley's Fresh you got Fresh. The Genie is coming at you live and direct with none other than your man, DJ Eyvory.
What's going on, y'all?
And this is the one, the only, internationally world-renowned DudeBro show with your hosts, Dude and Bro.
What do we say?
Self-explanatory. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. Have you seen this Little Uzi Vert picture?
Yeah,
roll that picture real quick.
Yeah. Pop that right there. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. My
Okay,
man got
so
a fucking clutch.
He's got kind
and
of
like a Freddy.
Yeah, what do you call that shirt? Well, it's more than that because it goes from shoulder to shoulder. Like I know my girl got some really hot shirts like that, but on Uzi it's a little different. You know, I think they call it like a camise or something like that, or I don't know what you call that.
I'm saying it right now.
And the
moist.
clutch though, the
you
clutch
call that
is
shit moist is what you call that shit. You call that shit very suspect. Is another word I'd use.
Yeah.
Suspect is a word I'd use on that shit.
And I mean we're coming off our Migos episode where we're definitely praising a lot of the good music coming out of Atlanta, and there's nothing wrong with style because we grew up in a time where of course Marilyn Manson was doing crazy stuff and
this isn't about music. This is clearly not about music.
It's definitely more about fashion, or some kind of agenda. Even.
I don't know what's going on because.
Yeah, I mean, are you thinking like Illuminati? Or
no, like you take the pictures of let's Google Uzi Vert. Just do that. Just Google Uzi Vert. All right, and you will see a bunch of normal ass Uzi
You will.
Vert
It's like he's cool. Anime
then you
stuff.
come up on this fucked up ass picture of him wearing this fucking whatever he's wearing, and I ask myself why.
Well, okay, here's me too. I recently, you brought this to my attention. He is a young thug artist. Is he YSL? Or he was wearing a YSL chain at least. Young stoner.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Or he could have been doing a YSL. In Saint Laurent. He could have been Yves Saint Laurent.
Again,
I don't know.
all I know is that shit had me like, what? Not that he's not okay. First of all,
it's just
disclaimer. It's not like I'm out here checking for Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like, yo, that's my dude right there. Like he's rocking it or something like that. All I'm saying is, the shit is suspect, particularly.
It's just like there's an agenda. It seems like 'cause they're pushing it, like the Young Thug and everything. It's like
Okay, roll the next one. Just roll the next one. Roll the
Yeah.
next one. All right, so now you're gonna see the cover for Lil Yachty.
Oh
and his album cover.
Yeah, that's
so. Aside from you got a fat bitch, you got the albino dude, but I'm
the
talking
weird white guy in the bottom selling dope. Remember
that's awesome. He's clearly
he's like, hey, what you need? I got you.
But anyway. You got dudes up there kissing in the upright corner. And you go right. And then you got the cool little male-female symbol.
Hey, his grill's on, though.
The grill's on. Yeah. The question is this, though. Why?
Peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo.
Why? I want to know why.
I definitely think there's an agenda in music these days. I mean, everything's got... I like to not always be bombarded by marketing and music. I do know that they're kind of hand-in-hand, but I do like... The reason I guess I always like 3-6... and certain people were is because I didn't feel like I was being marketed or something all the time. Where of course when Juicy J switched over with the Wiz Khalifa and the Taylor Gang, he got a little more commercial where everything was like the same thing over and over, and it was kind of like a lot more like how Wiz does things, where it's like skateboards and it's a Wiz Khalifa thing. I don't know. Speaking of Wiz Khalifa, how do you think Wiz is feeling right now about the Mask Off video with the Amber riding around with him?
Hey, hold on. I think we're skirting this fucking Little Yachty, Uzi Vert.
No, yes, this is
like
there's a lot going on in hip hop right now.
There's one more person that I want to talk about with this that we put him in the Moist Gang. Anyway, the point of the matter is, I want to know what does this have to do with the music? Where is this in hip hop?
Yeah, I know.
It's not the sounds. It's everything associated with the music. And maybe it's because they're calling it hip-hop, and I don't think it's hip-hop. If you can see it in my face right now, I'm definitely a bit torn, because on the one hand, I'm like, this is not a fucking gossip column, and I don't want to be in here chatty patty style, but on the other hand, I definitely want to bring to attention the fact that, dude's got a fucking clutch, and... okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, Young Thug too. Yeah.
Let's throw in the thugger.
Yeah, thugger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just saying that these what is it? I don't like calling them hip hop, so let's call them mumble rappers.
Mumble rappers.
And so, just because you rap does not mean you make hip hop. Just because you sing doesn't mean you're fucking Mariah Carey. So the situation here is why do the mumble rappers have this kind of What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, if it's prevalence in the game right now, they're taking over.
I don't know what word I want to look for, but it's
they have a chokehold on the game. Like everything you're seeing is
that's their style. They have this thing.
Well, it's like you're not allowed to like even have a good beat from a producer unless you put on a dress. Basically, it's like you can't really and that's why I like the Migos, because I'm rocking with the Migos because I can understand most of the words they can say. And I'll admit, there's some jargon, some cool like hip hop stuff they're doing, and and they got their swag. I mean, they skirt, they got all the sounds and ad libs. They're the best at doing that. But I will say, like, just like when Young Thug came out, like there was the whole like I'm a Stoner, and he had the Rich Gang with Rich Homie Quan. I was sold on. I mean, I'll admit, like I liked everything that was happening, and then all of a sudden, just out of left field, you start hearing all this stuff about the Birdman, Lil Wayne falling apart, the Carter, the way that. He's doing the whole, like he did Lil Wayne, like he's doing Manny Fresh, like he did Turk, and like he did B Jizzle. So it's like you got all this crazy stuff going on within this camp. Meanwhile, you got Thugga kind of coming in distracting with like dresses, and it's like what's that old saying in the magic business? Smoke and mirrors, right?
See, I don't even think it's that serious. I mean, as fun as these things are, I do really think it's at the end of the day we're trying to get paid.
And, I mean it's gonna turn heads when you.
And like, yo, Birdman fucked all his people. Yeah, of course he did, because he was getting that guap.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the business model. This is hip-hop capitalism at its finest. So, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And on the one hand, dudes is running around in skirts and fucking cutoffs. And, you know what I'm saying? And like clutches and shit. And that's
swag.
That's like people are trying to tout this as hip hop, and I'm like, that shit is not.
Well, yeah, because we come from a different era. Because I mean, when we talk hip hop, we think Mos Def, we think
fuck era. It's not even that. I'm like, it's just not hip hop. Like there's elements, there's things, there's a whole shit about it.
It's a show. It's Lady Gaga. It's no longer. You're right. It's pop music. It's not hip hop. You have now.
I think that's a very good point. Is Lil Uzi Vert Lady Gaga?
He's pop. Yeah, he wears Marilyn Manson shirts. He is Marilyn Manson because...
No, this is very... please, go deep with this. Is Lil Uzi Vert the Lady Gaga
of rap? Yeah, of course. Like, he's theatrics. It's, that's what I'm trying to tell you, like, the smoke and mirrors thing. Like, these guys are very methodical with this. It might seem like it's just a ploy.
I don't care about the dress.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the first dude to wear a dress, and you're not going to be the last. No. But the issue is, like... You're mad weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're mad weird. And it's not like Young Thug.
It's all anime and Dragon Ball Z meets like craziness. It's insane. Like the whole marketing is insane for him.
I'm talking about the whole schwa. For example, throw in Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
Throw in Lil Yachty. I look at Lil Yachty and I ask myself, does Lil Yachty even know what he's doing? Like, is this even Lil Yachty?
Okay,
like, did Lil Yachty plan his album cover? Is that his stuff?
Yeah, like it's some guy.
You know
well, yeah.
Where I'm looking at Uzi and I'm like, nah, that crazy motherfucker wants to wear that shirt.
These album companies are probably definitely having a huge say in this, and they're for sure being guided and directed. Like, so my first time where I really was like, hey, Yachty got at least bars at all in any type of stuff.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
You just say Yachty and bars in the same
sentence? I did. And I said the first time, I totally thought Yachty was bum. Like, and I'm still not saying he's not.
I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm just saying you said bars.
Okay, and let me finish.
Bars.
Yes. I like his verse on Peekaboo. And you can say it's not exactly the most pre-calculated, but if you listen to it, he at least is rhyming words. There's words in there that are like...
Is that how low we've sunk now? If you rhyme a word, you've got bars.
I hate to say it, but yes. Like,
oh my god.
Well, okay, because let's be honest.
How's this guy go from...
Now I'm drinking Sprite. Now I'm drinking Sprite. Okay, I get it, it's fun, but like that's what I assumed Lil Yachty every song was going to be like. It's like dun 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 dun. Because I've heard those other songs where he's on the boat and there's like weird dragons flying around. It's insanity. Okay. And so for me, when I heard Peekaboo, I was like, oh, this is a semblance of rap music. At least there was a few other words that weren't the exact same word.
So what's he doing before that?
Sprite. And before Sprite was like Magical Dragon.
Said Magical Dragon rap.
Magic Dragon.
Yo.
Shout out to my man, who is that, Cat Stevens?
Puff That Dragon? I have no clue.
I think it's Cat Stevens.
It's classic stuff. But yo, again,
life in the fast
I'm like,
lane. It might make you
obviously you say, what does this have to do with the music? Well, I think it has lots to do with the music.
I do.
Because...
Well, fashion and music are always hand in hand too. Because okay, let's be honest. Back in the '80s, you had all these rock and roll guys, who, the long hair, the more or less very effeminate body types and the styles and the singing, and it just was like the jeans. And hip-hop is in a weird way going through its 80s, I think. It's going through its like...
Yeah, but I ask myself, how much of this is actual style and how much of this is just people trying to be seen for the sake of being seen?
Well,
in the age of do it
in
for
the era of
brand.
the Kardashians with the break the internet with my ass, yeah, I mean, that is like, there's a I'll admit, no one wants to work forever. You know, I mean, no one wants to be like, hey, I want to go wake up every morning and do a 9 to 5. So if they're like, hey, Eric, I need you to do some slightly explicit weird thing, but I'm going to pay you extremely well, I might consider it because I'm like, hey, I don't want to work 9 to 5 forever, ever. You know, I'm not adverse to it, but I'm like, my plan is an exit plan. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like build a company that has like at least enough. But then again, if I'm involved in a project, I'll be real. Half the time I get so deeply invested in things that I don't want to let it go. You know, and you say that.
I'm just kind of like, again.
But I want options. I want options.
I think what you're saying is what my worm's like, damn, that sucks, but I guess you're right, is that there's no integrity anymore.
No, that's it. That's it. And I'll admit, like...
If you said everybody has a price, you said, if you come with me enough money, I will do that shit.
Yeah.
In which case, then I will just get my cash, and motherfuckers ask me, I'll say I did it for the cash.
Well, because you look
and
at it too,
like,
you got Donald Trump, it's like, everyone feels like they're going to get blown up, so it's like, hey, if I can get out and escape and get my little bread, and then they're going to clone me or whatever.
This is the age of the coward. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But no, you make a good point. It's a lot of people kind of sticking their heads in the dirt and like kind of just, you know, praying for ground and just, you know, kind of fuck everybody. But
back to this Uzi Vert and those other things. You said, is there an agenda? You said the word agenda, which then begs the question that, okay, now there's...
I feel like it was an agenda that maybe...
Okay,
let's be honest. Like, everyone has an agenda. So it's like, what every group has an agenda. So, like, you have an agenda, you want to push it. People are kind of understanding that life is like this weird marketing, and people, maybe not everyone lives this life because there is kind of like, I know I have family who's like, you know, they live in the country and they don't partake in this system, but the system is very, you know, it's like, I'm Instagram, like, I mean, most girls nowadays, they spend a good amount of time on their phone taking pictures, selfies. And
I'm saying, it's like dudes taking selfies more than girls now, but here's the issue.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, I think you hit a lot of points where you said marketing and things of this nature.
Yeah.
It is the monetization of every aspect of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're now doing everything with this thought of maybe I can get famous or get paid or somebody's going to do some shit. You are exploiting yourself. Where is doing it for the love?
Well, yeah,
what happened to I make music because I like to make music? What happened to
it's the only reason really
I'm
to
fucking
make it.
weird,
Yeah, I know.
therefore I just do the fucking weird thing. Like Marilyn Manson was not
amazing,
like wearing prosthetic fucking latex suits because he thought it would sell records.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that was like a life.
His
well, he was. I mean, for anyone who knows about Manson too, he was like, he was in some weird shit. I mean, he's legitimate in the game as far as like, I don't know if you want to call him a witch or whatever, but that guy's a straight up like.
I feel you, but there's a large part of hip hop.
But it's real though too. It's like you can't even say like for him, it's like he's the real fucking deal. Like on all his pictures of him and Anton Levy. He's like he's a hardcore respected guy who's not. I wouldn't fuck with Manson. I'm just gonna say it right now. I wouldn't do it.
I mean, either pull all those things aside. We're still talking about a word called artistry.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm asking myself, where is this artistry?
Yeah.
Is Little Uzi Vert or people behind? Let's say the word we like to use is
producers and the marketing guys.
Are the people behind
the packaging
telling him, hey, you should do this?
We'll give you $1 million to put this dress on.
I look at Yatchy and I see Yatchy speak. He's a young man, really young man.
Oh yeah,
and you can tell he's green.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to get that paper.
So I ask myself, who told him to do the cover that way? No slight to you, but clearly that was not your choice. You know what I'm saying? Now I look at Uzi.
I feel like it was a scary movie cover almost.
Was that your choice?
MTV did that.
I feel like Uzi's doing that shit of his own accord.
Maybe
I don't think he's waking up in the morning and someone's saying, "Hey, you need to drop that $220K on that Marilyn Manson chain, and you need to wear this fucking. You need to wear this pussy ass shirt. You need to wear this.
I'll admit,
okay? And you need to make sure it has bleach stains on it. Okay, you need to wear this bleach stained Freddy Krueger ass shirt. You need to wear it.
That thing was very.
I don't think that's happening. You know what I'm saying? I think that's some shit that he's doing on his own. However,
very Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes.
Where is this going? And this is where you're hearing people say, okay, they're on the rock star shit, whatever. People want to say, party like a rock star, that's the rap thing, whatever. But again, I really want to drive home. Just because you rap does not mean you make hip-hop music.
Oh, rap is very different than hip hop. Yeah.
No, rap is a thing. You just are a rapper. Just like people sing. There's gospel singing. There's R&B
rapping
singing.
is a
There's country singers. They're not the same.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you rap does not mean you make hip hop music.
Oh, there can be polar differences.
Once we make this distinction,
maybe it'll be a little more easy to digest.
I think things make sense.
The...
Well, I can look at Uzi Vert and I can see he's doing a separate thing.
Yeah.
And because whatever his thing he's doing is not necessarily hip hop. I'm over here like, what the fuck? You're fucking my hip hop game up. However,
yeah, you're looking at it like
when you see it for what it is, when they're like the youth are saying, no, this is a different genre, this is a different thing, he's doing a whatever.
How much
you want to call it mumble rap? They don't like it. The point of the matter is, you are saying yourself, I don't make hip hop. Okay, that's cool, but let's do something about this because where are the elements? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a beat and some dude rapping. Okay.
Well, yeah, and everything
and it's lit. All right, that's fit. That shit.
I'm not denying that shit. The beats are very there's a very much like a formula to the beat. I mean, you can hear the trap element of the kind of the sped up drums and the what do they call that? The time and something like
what is that? Double time.
Yeah, double time. Yeah, and so. I personally really enjoyed it. I mean, me and you have some beats from back in the day. We're like on Twice and on Visions of Ways on the CD you produced for me. Those beats, I mean, that you did like 5 or 6 years ago, it's crazy. But those had like literally that same style that everyone's listening to now. And I mean, really, the way we got it from was like 3-6 and kind of our early, the people we looked at like DJ Paul, Juicy J, Lord Infamous, and all these guys who had specific styles.
For sure.
And those guys are really, I mean, you can give those guys all the credit in the world because they actually, the way they did they did have a style of repetitive rap where they would chant. It's like chanting, but I mean, music and chanting, they are, people want to always be like, well, you can't chant, and it makes it different, it makes it like it's weak because you're not putting, but if you look into some of these crazy sacred texts and all this other stuff, a lot of stuff is chanting. And chanting can be very beautiful and rhythmic and hypnotic. So 3-6 always felt like they were trying to put you in a hypnotic, because they hypnotized minds. They were trying to put you in hypnotic states.
Hypnotic Cat Posse was shit. But yo, I mean, if you're going to talk about chants and all these other things, again, everybody has their, I like this, I don't like that. Moot point. The whole thing is in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm like, I think it's a very important thing that people just want to gloss over. Just because you're black and you rap doesn't mean you make hip hop music.
Well, a lot of people probably are just going to try to stereotype that, like, oh, he's a hip hop artist.
It becomes a thing.
Jeezy, he's hip hop. It's like,
But that's negative to the artist as well because maybe they do not wish to.
To me, Wu-Tang is hip hop. You know what I mean? Like it's this.
I'll throw Jeezy in that fucking book. T.I. T.I.'s a
Jeezy or Jeezy?
Jeezy? T.I.? Oh yeah, for sure.
No, Jeezy or Jeezy?
Young Jeezy.
I'm talking about Jeezy.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. No.
Just for all you folks out there, distinction.
No, hey Jeezy.
And we got Yeezy too, so they're all these same guys with the same names. With
Yeezus.
Similar. I like Yeezus. I mean, he's great. Hope he's doing all right. It seemed like that Kardashian curse is kind of getting to him.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not the same dude that came out.
They done
after they took my man.
They done Michael Jackson him and snatched him in.
Yo, I mean that's a whole nother topic. They straight.
Did you see him with Donald Trump, by the way?
Yo, they kidnapped my man.
Yeah,
he was disappeared. Nobody came for him. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, thanks.
You don't hear anything, and then he comes out looking mad spacey.
Yeah, he does.
He has memory loss, blonde hair, and
this shit is crazy to me.
Looking like a dude out of the movie Get Out and shit. Talking about that was nice people.
Yeah, he did.
I love this family.
Yeah, that was scary, dude.
Did the classic Donald Trump? Oh, he's a great guy. I like this guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
Was that Trump? Trump was really all about that.
There you go.
That shit was.
I don't know about Kanye. I'm telling you right now, they did something to Kanye.
Yeah, blessings to you, Kanye. I hope it's all right.
Now, either that means that everything he was saying in that rant before was not true.
That rant was insane.
Or,
well, I mean, if you are up on your conspiracy theory game, which I'm very versed, and you're starting to see some of these connections, I mean, Yeezy, the things he was saying were very polarizing and very eye-opening, and to me, it wasn't anything I didn't already maybe know, but it was things that, hey, I've had these itching suspicions, and I'm not going to say any in particular, because, I mean, I would have to actually listen to that speech because it's been so long since I heard it.
Kanye does not strike me as a quote-unquote enlightener, as much as he strikes me as a man who has shit that he wants to get off his chest.
He can't keep nothing on his chest.
And
yeah, he's like that. He's like,
fuck it, I gotta
tell y'all something. I know. He's like, this shit's driving me nuts.
I gotta tell the truth.
He's like, I got all these people here, I got 50,000 people listening, and the funny thing about our generation is we're like, oh, this is annoying. this is kind of not what I paid for. And it's like, well, what if I try to save you just now? I try to get you on that little arc to cross over. Nope. You didn't want to get on.
Save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
See, 3-6. I'm telling you, they did it.
But y'all.
So Matt, my whole thing is I'm curious too, because I feel like the whole game is kind of getting like love and hip hopized right now. Ever since the show's been popularized, you got Atlanta, you got Hollywood, you got New York. I mean, even our favorite group, Migos, this week I get news that Offset knocks up Cardi B. It's crazy to me. Like, I mean, it's like the game is very, like, I hear a lot of these songs now, even like Gucci gets out of jail, and he starts dropping these tracks, and some of them are even like, I feel like it's like a Love and Hip Hop episode via music. You know what I mean? And I'll admit, Cardi B got bars, the girl, she can spit. But is that...
Look like a kind of lit.
I mean, that song is lit, though, I'm saying, though.
Love and Hip Hop is not gone to win. What is that? Is The Young and the Restless.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is. It's just The Young and the Restless, the rough copy. Mm-hmm. Whoever makes it off of that shit is going to eventually be like whatever is going to be
the TV show. Yeah,
of that.
Well, because they did say Cardi B's no longer going to be on that show. She's doing some own like actual acting type show, like an Empire. Or something
Cardi
like
B got to do Cardi B. Yeah. But my whole deal is hip hop being love and hip hopized, or really is hip hop becoming a reality show?
Yeah,
and that's a larger topic.
That is, yeah.
Really, not only are we touching again on the commercialization of hip-hop, but we're looking at cultural appropriation where we're
or misappropriation. Yeah, misappropriation perhaps.
Where we're using...
We can consider hip-hop
this culture, this subgroup, to push a certain monetary or a certain capitalistic agenda.
It literally, to me...
I want to sell X, I'm going to use Y to do so. And it just so happens that in order to sell X and in so using Y, it destroys a culture, defames a people.
Yeah.
We don't really care. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah. And so you're like, well, what does it have to do with hip-hop? Goes back to our little Yachty, Uzi Vert, and this kind of shit. Is that hip-hop?
Yeah.
And if nobody represents hip-hop, then everybody can say they're hip-hop.
Well, yeah, everybody's... And the other thing is, you know... Do you remember growing up how many posers there were? Like, because I used to skateboard and used to rollerblade, and you know how it was. Like, there was people who were posers, you know what I mean? And they weren't good at the sport, but they acted like they were skaters. And they come around, they want to come to the podium and skate with us and kick it. But they weren't allowed to skate. But if I was around or my homies around, because we'd kick them out because they were posers. Now, you got a lot of posers who aren't getting checked now, and... It's interesting because I will say, like, when Yachty first came out, I don't want to say he was a poser, but he even says it himself. I don't know what I'm doing, really. He's like, I just kind of make music and I don't really, you know.
Yeah, but that's like the innocence of I like rap. But here's the deal.
I guess.
That would be dope if he was down with hip hop, but he's not. And I can't blame him for that.
Well, it's because what he's seeing probably is he's, you know.
Where is hip hop?
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. If nobody's standing up
he's seeing
and defending quote unquote hip hop, you're just going to have the little Uzi Verts and the little Yachties try to guide themselves. Yeah. And they're going to do the fucking best they can. And who is their blueprint? So the whole situation then is, where is the culture going? And this is again...
And the culture is being forced. I mean, there's a lot of...
It's the money.
Yeah,
it's the money.
Yeah, people like Russell Simmons.
The shit got corporate. Yeah. It's not even people like Russell Simmons, because Russell Simmons made a decision. He had an opportunity to go the Master P way. But he didn't have the balls to do that. If he had gone the Master P route, he'd probably be like, you know, Elon Musk rich, and the culture would be in a different place.
Facts.
But the situation is, the money dictates, he who owns the masters is the master in hip-hop. So what you're finding is...
Horrible but true way to look at it. Yeah.
That with these 360 deals, and et cetera, none of these individuals own their destiny. They don't even own their likeness. So...
Yeah, it's like you're basically being... You are, like, I mean, a lot of times...
If that's the case, what does that do for hip-hop? That means the man who owns that So the old Israeli white guy, he's the face of hip hop.
Yeah.
He's really the mind of hip hop. Why? Because he's the one telling you what's what and who gets to rock
Jimmy
it.
Iovine,
What's that sound
all these
like?
people, yeah.
I mean, you know, little known fact was that no, I think it is a Little Yachty track. Was produced by God, what's that dude?
The guy from the Jay-Z 99 Problems?
Yeah.
Rick Rubin?
Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
And then
Rick Rubin did Tom Petty too, believe it or not. I mean,
but just think about this. Why is Rick Rubin one of arguably the greatest quote unquote hip hop producers of all time?
So weird.
Why is he doing
Jimmy
products?
It's
or excuse me, why is he doing
they're like in bed together.
Projects
for
Lil Uzi. Or excuse me, for Lil Yachty. Why?
Yeah.
And then
I mean, it's mind-blowing shit.
If Lil Yachty can get that level of production, of course it's going to be a hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you got Rick Rubin.
So
he's going to guide you, and he's going to make sure you sound good. He can literally move the words and just take your voice.
Why is Rick Rubin being paired with Lil Yachty?
It's crazy to me.
Why? What is
there is an agenda to make Yachty,
no, it's like
to get these messages out there.
What did that accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there some sort of sonic masterpiece? Like, are we all gonna go back and be like, man, this album is a classic.
Peekaboo was really it.
It is going to change the face of hip hop. This is oh my god, I can't wait to play I cannot wait for my son to come of age so I can play for him. Peekaboo.
Yeah, no, not really, no.
Man, he's gonna really understand where I was at the time in my life, and
no, that is kind of the problem when you make too like extremely vulgar music, and not to say I mean anyone in particular is to blame for that, but it is kind of like it takes away from that timelessness where like when I'm hanging out with my dad and I'm listening to certain musics, like hey, it's some Fleetwood Mac or something, and it's like, it's not like
yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, Two Live Crew was timeless.
That shit was amazing.
That shit is timeless. Duke is fucking timeless.
And I guess maybe it's just not music you listen to with your parents. Maybe that's what it is.
Why not? Depends on your parents are.
That's true.
All I'm saying is
with my parents. My dad's pretty cool. He's down. You know, Ed Semple's down to bump that shit.
Yeah, your dad's boss.
He's down to like pop some pussies and whatever the fuck
else. Facts. Your dad's a fucking rock star.
My dad's a G.
But yo, again, like I said, why?
Yeah.
We know why Luke was doing what Luke was doing.
Oh yeah.
And Luke was fighting for free speech and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a completely different thing.
That's
I don't know if you can really compare the two. And so it becomes, what are we doing with the music now? And
it's kind of like Mother Earth. We're just fucking it to death, probably. It's like let's just propagandize and let's marketize and monetize and that's kind of where you start losing the craftsmanship. Is eventually it's just another, a corporate creation. It's just like, hey, let's find some kid on the street who's street. You know what I mean? And let's make him G. And let's
again, if we lay all the cards on the table.
It's like
one piece at a time. Maybe it's nothing. But when you start adding up the Young Thug, plus the Lil Uzi, plus the Lil Yachty, then you got to ask yourself, is there some sort of agenda? And if there is some sort of agenda, if there is some sort of quote-unquote conspiracy, the question is, what is that conspiracy?
Yeah.
And then you have to ask yourself, why? Because I know people want to say it's just about money, but there's a million ways to make cash. Particularly in the music game where we already see there's only the same 10 artists that are getting played. And they play the same 12 songs over and over.
And you know what's weird?
And over.
Ed Sheeran, I cannot deal with Ed Sheeran anymore. Ed Sheeran's one of those artists.
And over.
Weeknd, who I used to love.
Hey, Weeknd's the man.
I'm just sick of hearing it though, because it's like, I love the Weeknd more than anybody, and like, even the radio can even fucking ruin that for me, because it's like, I'm a star boy. Legend of the Fall.
You watch your mouth.
I know, right? That's blasphemy. Sorry, Weeknd Abel. I'm a huge fan. I love it.
But not realistically. We're looking at marketing.
I mean, do you remember though back in the day, like House of Balloons and those albums, like his first few mixtapes? Like, I used to get it to those mixtapes, boy. That's how I got my current girl. Actually, was the Weeknd mixtapes. They were so slick, dude. I would just listen to all that, and they're a little melancholy, but man, boy, some really good music, good love making stuff. You know what I mean?
I still feel like we're running away from this topic. What is going on with the clothes, the feminine styles, the fucking weirdness, Just what is with all this outward energy that has been infused into hip hop? Let us know.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of running around with this. I really feel like we've given this guy way too much fucking credit. We've given these people way too much time. I want to know what the issue is. So why don't you leave us a comment?
That's right.
Share this shit. Fuck Yachty, you hear me? Holla at your man. Inform me. Tell me what's what. Uzi, you don't really seem like you're gonna say anything to me, but tell me why you're all up in the photo with your hand cocked in the back and shit. I want to know, because that shit is odd to me. But anyway, it's your man Alias Fresh, Fresh God, Fresh Genius, saying, it's hip hop. Save it.
It's your boy DJ Eyvory. Thanks for watching DudeBro, y'all. We out.